Bonjour, welcome to another roundup of the best comics of the week, and you all know it's my favourite time of the week. I do love it. I've got 5 for us to take a nice close look at, page by page almost. Sometimes I'll leave it before I get to the end because I don't want to spoil it for you. You know, if you get down to your comic book shop, all mine come from Comics and Fantasy, Hornchurch in Essex. Hello, Paul. Always good to pop in once a week for the new stuff, and the second time for the back issues if there's anything going. So that's my little routine. Anyway, before we get into it, thank you all as usual. Steadily growing in subscribers, you sexy nutty subscribers. Love you, know I love you all. And I've noticed, maybe not on these comic book, I think these are obviously a bit niche, you know, what us nutters are like who collect comics. But just in general, the comments, I love it. More comments on the comic stuff, please. Come on, let's talk about it. What's your favourite one? What have you picked up that I haven't? I might not have reviewed it because I don't like it, but nevertheless, let's still pick this. I can't pick up every comic. So thank you all for that. And I've got 5 others that have worthy of mention this week, and I've got a little half a whinge of the week. Not a full-on whinge, but we'll get to that. The whinge of the week is back, but only a tiny one. Because I like keeping it positive on these videos because I think I'll do enough whinging on all the other ones, to be fair. Let's get going. And I tell you what, it is a DC dominated week. I'll tell you, starting off with Superman. This Dawn of DC run, it's Joshua. Yeah, he's Joshua Williamson. You know, I have to check. Is absolutely. I'm really enjoying it. Really am enjoying it. The lightness of touch that he's bringing to it, as well as the superhero action, it's reminding me of John Byrne's run many moons ago. Just like I say, that lightness of touch with everything. Nothing's too heavy and leaden, sombre and miserable. You know, there's definitely a good energy running through. You know, I don't know if that makes any sense, but that book is well worth picking up if you like your superheroes, which I do. And because of that, I'm also picking up this. And I know I've recommended it before, and I've done a deep dive before, but Dan Mora's artwork is always worth a look at. And again, and I know I've said it before, Mark Waid, but if you haven't watched any of my videos, this is your first one. What I have said is that Mark Waid, Jeff Johns, and Joshua Williamson, to be fair, they make telling superhero stories look easy. And they are not. But they're doing them really well. World's Finest is one. And look at this. Daredevil's Black Armour's back. I really enjoyed this romp of a comic, to be fair. And there's another romp. There's that one word applies to the next comic even more. But this is set back in the day. D.G. Chichester, who's written this one, it's obviously a new story, but set back at the time when he did have the and it divided fans badly because it's an armoured suit. So it was like a new futuristic kind of, yeah. I will say I didn't like it, but I don't know why all these years later I'm enjoying this story. Perhaps I don't know. Perhaps it's a well written story, and because I know it's a back in the day one, I know it isn't maybe of any consequence. Maybe another, and this is even more of a romp. This one, Jason Aaron. Doug Mank on the artwork, and you know, obviously a veteran of comic book art. This is again just a romp of a story, and that is set back in the day as well. When we do the deep dive, I think I might have I think it might be a year 1, 2-ish story. You know, before everything happens, and he has to have 18 different characters in every issue and kids and every. I won't go there. And book of the week, guys. I think it's again, but we've got to have another little deep dive at this because they are creating Philip Kennedy Johnson. I've got his name right. Yeah, I have. And Nick Klein on the art have created such a creepy, foreboding atmosphere in this book. I literally cannot wait whenever that's out, I literally can't wait. That's the first book I read every month when it's out. Whatever week that comes out, there's nothing that beats that. To the first, like the first read when you picked up a nice old pile each week or each month, whatever it is. So they're my 5 top books for the week this week. They kind of were nearly there. Wonder Woman, I continue to keep enjoying. Issue 3, and again, beautiful artwork in this. Sampere's artwork, beautiful in this. It just seems to really suit the story that Tom King. I know it's dividing fans. I know, guys. I know some of you are going, oh, it's all about this, that, and the other. But I can't deny I'm enjoying it. And again, I told you it was DC heavy, didn't I? Justice Society of America, and just another Jeff Johns enjoying himself with this one. A guy called Santucci on the artwork. Marco Santucci's artwork, spot on. That's chapter 2. So yeah, pick up issue 6. First 5 issues, solid storyline. These next 2 issues, Solomon Grundy leading on to a bigger storyline. Loving it. Obviously, Tenement. Jeff Lemire continues. It's always worth a read, but I would say graphic novel for that. I would say that with a lot of Jeff Lemire stuff, to be fair, but because I'm a nutter who collects comics, and I like the floppies, I like the monthlies. I'm sorry, I do. I can't deny what I am, and neither can this comic, to be fair. Plot holes. Now, written and drawn by Sean Murphy, incredible artwork. I love Sean Murphy's art. I haven't got a clue what's going on, but it looks good. That's going to have to be reread when they get to the end of it. Again, I think, guys, that one, if you're not into the monthly so much, because the storyline is such an intriguing one. I think I went through it in issue 1 where there's a team of literary characters that can rescue books from bad plots, etc., etc. I think it's out there as a storyline. It really is out there, and yeah, I'm going to have to reread that when they're all out. But his artwork's stunning. It's just worth it to flick through it and try and make sense of it, to be fair. And this kicked off this week. I think it was guilty of maybe dragging its feet a little bit. We're at issue 6 now. Every now and again, I say like they could have done that in 4 or whatever, but that's only a tiny criticism. I can't say I haven't enjoyed a single issue, because I have. I've enjoyed every single one. Which brings me on to my half whinge of the week. And it is this Dark Droids crossover in all the Star Wars books. Now, you all know how much I've praised. There's two Star Wars books out this week. D Squad, which after 3 issues is ridiculous. That storyline in this particular book, this particular D Squad. I thought it was funny first issue, but the jokes were worn really, really thin. Yeah, it's not good at all. And they have mined what is a good idea, and it started off quite cracked along with the Allspark infecting. First it comes for the metal and then the flesh. Very, very intriguing, interesting storyline. And because it's realised that it can get to cyborgs. So obviously old Vance from the Bounty Hunters is obviously right in the firing line. And that's all good stuff. It started in August and it's going to finish in December. That is 10, 15, 20, that's 25 books for that one storyline. Sorry guys, that's my whinge. But why it's only half a whinge is because apart from that D Squad, which is like pants, Bounty Hunters I'll keep getting. Once this crossover's finished, I'm enjoying the other, I mean, I don't get every Star Wars title, but the ones I do get, I enjoy, and I'm still enjoying. But that's gone on far too long. 5 months, like 5 issues of every Star Wars title you're buying. You know, nearly half a year's worth of storylines just on robots, a robot revolution. Nah, guys, sorry, no. Anyway, that was my little whinge over. But let's look at the top 5 and the book of the week, Incredible Hulk, and also the cover of the week. You remember when you was a kid, you only had limited pocket money, limited resources. You could only get 1 or 2 comics. So you had to make choices. First thing you made the choice on was the covers on the spinners or maybe on the shelves. Whatever it would be, you'd pick it up because it was an eye-catching cover. Well, that's what I like. A little bit of fun at the end of the video, just to have a look at what's cover of the week. But we've got to choose one. Only one. Anyway, let's get on with it. Join me after the scroll for a deep dive. Right, okay, guys. First one up in this week of DC extravaganza. Superman. This Dawn of DC stuff, like I say, I've really been enjoying. I think I've done a deep dive in it before. Nice artwork. We're getting a little bit of background here on the chained character. Here's Lex Luthor back in the day with, you know, and he's getting told what Luthor has been doing. Joshua Williamson has weaved a really good story here, and there's a lot of Superman in this issue, to be fair, and they haven't been going heavy. I know that sounds stupid, but in a Superman book, if it's just him smashing things up every month, it does get very boring, and they've set up a formidable villain in this character, this chained character, who Lex Luthor has had imprisoned like for his entire life since they found out his powers. And obviously he's after Lex, and Superman's put in a position of kind of saving Lex's life, but he's working with him a bit now anyway. I'll say a bit, a lot. And this artwork, I know I've seen it before, it's just reminiscent a little bit of Frank Miller. Every now and again I'll get a little bit of Frank Miller in something he's done. But he's his own artist, the guy. But never, they've got 4 different artists on this issue, so he's obviously needed a hand, because obviously the style's a bit, and the inking, it changes, which was a little bit jarring, but I think there's enough action in this issue to keep it going on. Really nice design on a villain as well, I think. Like a strange cross. He's a strange cross between Doctor Octopus and Magneto in how he floats around and he's got all the chains around him. And anyway, nearly gets old. Lex, and like I say, Superman is in a position. He has to get this suit on to show his powers. You know, he's got kryptonite gloves there, and yeah, it was just a really action-packed, just a great issue. Like almost, you know, like a good. I don't know if this is the penultimate issue of this storyline or whether there might be 2 more, but just a great action-packed. You know, just to crack that story along. Really enjoyed it, and I won't go to the last couple of pages because it's your teaser for issue 9. So if I've teased you, then check it out. And good old Superman again. Look at me going mad on DC this week, but I'm sorry, but Marvel just aren't keeping up. They're really not quality wise. Mark Waid, Dan Mora, enough said. I've loved this team from issue 6 or 7 was the first issue, and I've just recently got all the back issues that I needed, the first 6 or 7, whatever it was, like the first story arc. And they're in the Kingdom Come timeline with one of the characters that was introduced, you know, back in like issue 6 or 7. That was the first storyline that I got involved with. Yeah, and again, the action ensues. Here we go. You know, they're in the Kingdom Come, but there's something about this is the Kingdom Come Batman in all his regalia, fighting against the Batman from the modern times, our Earth, and normally, if you've listened to many of my videos before, I don't like this multiverse stuff. I really don't, but Mark Waid is making this light enough. He's making it quite linear enough that it isn't annoying me. I've got to say, he is making it. It's just this, this one Earth, whatever number it is, and he's made it intriguing enough as well. And again, like, here's the action. The two Supermans and the new one. Our one traps the Kingdom Come one, and our Batman has to run away and blah blah. Here's the Nightwing from that universe, planet, whatever you want to call it. Superman loses his core. I mean, that's always interesting to see. And old Bruce trying to calm down Clark. And again, I won't show. Well, I'll just show one more page of who. And there's someone arriving. And that again sets it up. Just a great read. A great read. If they've done the graphics yet, if you don't pick up the monthly floppies, I thoroughly recommend that. As you can see, it's Dan Moore's artwork. Say no more. This was a surprise. I didn't think I was going to like this at all. I really didn't. And I think, like I said in the intro, I think it's because, Nefo Diaz, by the way, the penciler, and J.P. Mayer on the inks, and Andrew Dalhouse on the colouring, have done. This is a really nice job. I think it's a really nice job. They haven't skimped on the detail. Plenty of backgrounds, plenty of mood, evoking the mood. Here he is. He starts off. He wants old Thingy Bob to Melvin Potter to, aka the Gladiator, to fix up his suit, and they just set it in that era, which is why I think I relaxed. It's nothing to do. They're not bringing back. This is a bit of background to when they don't kind of say. It would have been nice for them to say what issues this was between, or just that. But that's just the comic geek in me. Just bringing us a background of characters. This is obviously just a mini-series, one storyline. And again, I just enjoyed this for what it was. And because it wasn't set in the present day, because it was like a back-in-the-day story that fits into what's already happened, I know that kind of lessens the stakes in a way, but this is a nice enough story, And, he's looking up where he's had to move away and fix his suit and all that. The storyline they're setting in between, he's just checking in on Karen, Electra. Look like Where's Wally? Again, nice artwork. The guys have got Daredevil down. This is the Daredevil I like. I know the suit is a bit lame. Should we say it's lame to give Daredevil an armoured suit? Then again, depending on who he's fighting, really. But the action set pieces are done really nice. And to be fair, this is another great action-packed. Sabretooth turns up somehow. This is another. He's obviously working with the main villain who do DD's after. So this is the third action-packed superhero comic in a row, actually, that we've got here in the top 5. And I love them for that. They've got plenty of storyline in. I love the old-fashioned Daredevil motif as well when he's using his powers. Love it. And this is crammed with story as well. He packed. Oh, you can tell that he's an old comic book writer, stalwart of comic book writing, because old D.G. Chichester, he didn't half get a lot of story in here. Introduces another new character here. Just a background character. He gets a lot in. And it ends up as a date with this character here, this psychic. Matt Murdock on a date with a psychic. And obviously this character that he is here, he's not Matt Murdock here. He's, what was I forget his name, Jack. What was the surname? Jack something, wasn't it? And he was the con man that he used to, his alter ego from back in the day. And look who else turns up. Kingpin. Yeah, it was actually, I think there was a nice couple of pages. Yeah, see that, like that, with that light behind him. Very cinematic. Loved it. So yeah, I think the artwork superb. Kingpin as Kingpin. Love it. Yeah, don't know how many issues there's going to be of that. I think 5 or 6, I think. So yeah, thoroughly enjoying that. Now another mini-series, but I think there's going to be 12 issues of this. This nearly made it to Book of the Week, but I think it'll be Book of the Week another week, to be fair. It's, Batman in space. Lovely artwork. Who was the colouring on this? So Doug Mank, who started off in the late 80s. I will get to the credits in a minute. Nice sci-fi. I mean, I'm a sucker for a sci-fi story anyway. But lob Batman in. And yeah, you got me. Here's the new big bad. He's in search of warriors, soldiers from all the planets, all the different planets. But Batman wants to be on there for some reason, which we have yet to find out. And that is revealed throughout the story. Nice design work on the robots and stuff. This was plenty of action in this as well. Look. And Batman against, the alien tech. So yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it. But it's like I say, it isn't the they do allude to, like, this isn't modern day. They just give he's an accomplished enough writer. Oh blimey, what's his name? Jason Aaron. I think I was concentrating too much on Doug Mank's artwork. He knows how to just get the little details into the story that lets us know this isn't modern day Batman, because he is suddenly on this introduced us to a new roster of characters that we're obviously going to be seeing in this mini-series that are also on this warrior prison ship, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it, and again, plenty of action. That's how I like my Batman as well. Even though it's in space, which can be, I suppose, it could be a bit jarring, but somehow they pulled this one off, because they let us know right at the beginning he's here for a reason. And this is in the days before he was in the JLA and all that, so he's on his own basically, and he's got to meet all these different characters. So yeah, just really enjoyed all this stuff. This is the Batman I love. So yeah, that, and again, a romp of a story. Look at that. Aliens, Batman, and a mysterious lizard alien. Can't get any better. Book of the week. Here we go. And is it Ghost Rider? Or is it something new? Well, I'll tell you now, it's something new. Or something that I haven't seen. And you wouldn't have thought that when Nick Klein pitched this to Marvel, I don't know how it got through, but I'm glad it did. I really am glad it did. And how they, even the intro, bringing us into this new cast of Hispanic characters and where they are in the desert, we haven't got a clue what's going on. Then you think this is Ghost Rider, it's the little kid who's just mucking about with a motorbike. And then obviously our two characters turn up. Charlie, who is the new one from issue 1 of this run, and obviously Bruce Banner. And she's got she's on the run as well now for being framed for murdering her dad, but she doesn't know if she did it or not. A little bit of intrigue there. Now we've got this other character here that he's obviously got something going on in his head, because he's giving his wife a kiss but thinking, no, I want to do that. See what I mean about the mood of this this story? Really worked. He's just driving, there's a couple walking in front of him, but that's what he wants to do, really. Yeah, it is. It's just nicely, creepily done. The colouring, I think I might have mentioned the colouring before. Matthew Wilson on the colouring. Let's give him a shout out, because that's a nice way to evoke dusk. It's not night time yet, just that dusk, those dusk colours in the desert. Love it. It's just really, it's just a beautiful thing. When they get the colour in the artwork, to match Nick Klein's artwork. And the storyline, like I say, is just nicely creepy. And it's the bits like this, the old lady talking to Bruce Banner, but it's not. Here he goes. Uh-oh. Now this new character's, uh-oh. And look at this. Oh, now that's a transformation scene. I mean, you know, it just looks painful. The lettering, yeah, I mean, that looks like, if anyone remembers 2000 AD, a character called Slain that Simon Bisley made his name on way back in the day. But this reminds me of what was called a warp spasm that the character used to have, like the old Celts used to claim back in the day, like back in the ancient history, that they would have a warp spasm in battle and their bodies would change and they'd get vicious. And love it. Look, boom, slam, boom of his fist, slam of his foot, easier. And I just love stuff like this. Bruce Banner in the red, like it's not blood, or is it? But is shadow in there, and I know that's probably been done before, or the shadow behind him is Bruce Banner and it's the Hulk, or the other way round. But I love flourishes like that. I really, really do. This book of the week has been book of the week for all 6 issues. Treat yourself and get it. It's not the Incredible Hulk of old, you know, like they've obviously made a conscious decision to just have him go off on a little bit of, but then again, they've done that before. They had him on an alien planet at one time, if you remember. They had him in Vegas as what did they call that? What did they call him back in those days? I think that might have been, was that when McFarlane was on it? Oh, someone let me know in the comments, please. Anyway, cover of the week. If we only had that little bit of pocket money, it's got to be, you know, a bloke on a flaming motorcycle with a machine gun that isn't Ghost Rider, plus the Hulk. Aliens and Batman, it's got to be there. I've got to say, I think that Daredevil looks nicely mean and moody, but he's in his armour. I don't know, I just think that 2 Batmans and 2 Supermans for the price of 1 cover, that's got to be there. I thought this was just a nice, I just think that is just a great cover for a Wonder Woman comic. I know it's quite static, but I don't know, design wise, I just think that is eye catching. Yeah, and not nicely put together. And this one, Solomon Grundy looming over the 4 members of the JSA. Yeah, but again, so I think it was out of them this week. I'll rule out JSA and Wonder Woman because they are a bit static, but still nice covers. The Daredevil one again, yeah, just one character. If I've got to rule it out, it's just because there's only one character on there, even though he's looking mean and moody. For me, it is out of these 3. This week, and it's because you get your 2 Supermans and 2 Batmans for the price of 1. I just think the alien tech on this is designed really nicely. It's a hard decision for me this week, to be fair, and I don't usually make up my mind each week, but I wish I had now because I'm literally thinking out loud while you hang on. Or if anyone makes it this far, that is. I hope you do. It's just my hot air. There'll be a test later. I'll test someone on it who I know to see if they hang on this long. Anyway, I'm waffling because I'm still trying to make up my mind and feel the. Yeah, I think I will, because that's nothing different. I'm going to remove that, and it's down to these 2. And I think my cover of the week has got to be, I think these are both intriguing, but do you know what? I've got to make a choice and I'm going to go for that one. I think because it is the most intriguing. We've had 6 issues of the Hulk being, you know, going down the horror route, and they're all great covers. But where this is an issue 1, I think this just says it all. And Batman ready to fight aliens, that is 100% going to want me to buy that comic with my pocket money back in the day. So there we have it, cover of the week. So I'm back on schedule, guys. This was in quick succession after supposedly last week's one. So I'm back on a roll. Thank you if you've watched me so far, and until next time, I will bid you all adios.